No heroics into Sandoval, please.
Cheers, Jeff.
Hey guys, it's James here. Welcome back to another F1 2020 My Team Career Mode video. We are here for episode number 8 at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. If you did miss the Monaco Grand Prix last time out, make sure you go check out that episode. We made probably the greatest overtake in Formula 1 history. And also, if you are new around here, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by April, so any help would be massively appreciated. We're also going to be upgrading the powertrain facilities, quality control. Just make sure that the failure chance is just down to 10% because it is so frustrating when you do an upgrade and it fails. But it looks like we're just going to go advanced time.
Our new parts have been completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
So as we can see, this time the aerodynamics upgrade has worked. Probably just going to head over to the R&D tree and have a quick look. We've got 513 resource points. There's a major powertrain upgrade which I'd love to do, but it's 1,050 resource points. No need to do any durability because we just haven't got the resource points. We're going to go to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So here we are then in the garage for qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. As we can see, just checking the setup, I'm going to be running very low downforce around here. 1.6 wings is extremely low. As you can see, that's all my other setup bits. And I'm just going to show you one lap. And I'm not going to commentate on it as we go across the line. It's my best lap. And hopefully you enjoy this one.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Hamilton, Bottas and Sergio Perez. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. A warm welcome to all of you watching at home to today's Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and a race that in its short history has already proven no stranger to drama. A fourth row start is just about as likely to give you a podium as a pole position would. And remember, in 2017 and 2018, both Lance Stroll and then Sergio Perez took surprise podiums here. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Stroll, Max Verstappen and Albon, Vettel, Sainz, Ricciardo and Lando Norris, Gasly, James, Esteban Ocon and Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Leclerc, they've taken a grid penalty, Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean, Raikkonen, Joe, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
So here we are then on the grid for the start of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. As you can see, quite a successful qualifying. We're in amongst the midfield. We're probably going to go for mediums onto hards because there is rain coming. So that's the strategy we're going to go for. Hopefully we can take these medium tyres all the way to the rain, because as it often happens in F1 games, the rain often comes earlier than projected on the forecast. So we're just going to go to the race, have a quick look around. We've got Pierre Gasly starting on our right hand side just in front of us, as we go to 5 red lights for the start of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. It's a good launch compared to Gasly and compared to Lando Norris, but Lando Norris doesn't give us any space, and that means that Ocon and Gasly try and swing it around the outside as we try and go up the inside of Lando Norris. We get caught on the curb, and that allows not only Gasly but Ocon and also Antonio Giovinazzi to fly past. As we outbrake Giovinazzi, means we go side by side into turn 2 with Esteban Ocon. We are still side by side going down the long straight down to turn 3. He's got a better exit, but I am running much lower wings, so hopefully I'll have better straight line speeds. We're also in overtake, but Ocon's completely shut the door. He's come all the way across the left hand side of the track. That's given me a terrible run, and I've also been passed by Charles Leclerc, and it's been a terrible start. We've dropped a couple of positions from 13th down to 15th now. That's not been a great start at all, and it's the soft shod Charles Leclerc who's now got ahead of us, and we've got to get past Esteban Ocon because he's running on the hard tyres, so he's going to be much slower. As we can see, Ocon and Leclerc go side by side into turn 6. It's very, very tight around this section of the track as we come in towards the most narrow section in Formula 1. They can't go side by side through there, surely not, and Leclerc has to back out. He will be looking to get past Esteban Ocon very quickly as he is on 2 quicker compound tyres. He's on the softs, Ocon on the hards. I'm on the mediums. I was going to make sure Danny Kvyat does not get past, nor does my teammate, who's had another flyer of a start. He's making a name for himself with these excellent starts, as he didn't qualify very well, but he does make very good race starts. We can see Leclerc and Ocon really scrapping it out. We're just 6 tenths behind, so hopefully with some good straight line speed that we have, we'll have the run down the home straight as we come out of the final proper corner. See if we can get a good run on Leclerc and Ocon. We're up into Rich and overtake using all of the ERS available for us on this lap. As you can see, we've got such a good launch through that very high speed chicane as Leclerc pulls out the slipstream alongside Esteban Ocon. He has to back out. He's not quick enough. We go round the outside of Charles Leclerc, duck inside. Can we get 2 places in one straight? We have done. That's a purple final sector for us as well, and we've got past 2 cars on the same straight. What a brilliant overtake that was as we cut now to lap 4. We are chasing after Lando Norris, but also Charles Leclerc is coming back at us a couple of laps later. He's on the quicker compound in a much quicker car. We do the old switcheroo down towards the castle, and we're going to go side by side, but surely not. I have to back out. There's no way I was going to make the corner through the most narrow section on the Formula 1 calendar. But this has been a great battle with Charles Leclerc. It's good that we're battling the quicker teams like Ferrari as we cut now towards the end of lap 4. Again, we've got such good straight line speed running 1.6 wings, so we're going to be absolutely electric on the straight. We've got DRS, we're using overtake, we're using Rick's Mix, and we got a good run on Leclerc. We go to the outside this time, follow the racing line, and yes, we do just swoop round the outside, and that is us up into 13th place, and we can try again to chase after Lando Norris and Pierre Gasly, who are currently in 11th and 12th respectively, as we cut now to the end of lap 7, and Valtteri Bottas has made his pit stop. He started on the softs as all of the top 10 had to, and now he's just gone up the inside and up into, well, 5th place really, because everyone else who started on the soft is having to make their pit stop. But obviously we're running long on these medium tyres to try and wait for the rain to come. As I did ask Jeff and it's around this time he said it's about 5 laps, and yes, it is lap 12, and it's suddenly got very wet. It's been an absolute downpour. So in fact, we're going to dive straight into the pits. It's only been raining for about half a lap, but we're going to go into the pits for some intermediate tyres. We follow Valtteri Bottas in, and this means we're going to be in a net P4 in this race. We're going to be in 4th place. Valtteri Bottas will be leading the race, most probably. Then it'll be Pierre Gasly, then Lando Norris, and then it'll be myself, because we are the first cars that haven't stopped yet. DRS has been disabled, meaning it's the perfect time for intermediate tyres. And yes, the order is Bottas, Gasly, Norris, and then myself. So we have absolutely aced this strategy. This has been a genius strategy. We're up now in 4th place, as everyone does have to pit for intermediate tyres. And as you can see, the track is so wet so quickly. We're squirming around. Look at the train that's formed behind us. The rain is going to clear up in about 10 minutes, meaning we're going to have a few laps of on soft tyres right at the end of the race. But it's got so wet, and I'm running such low downforce. This is going to be such a struggle. We're going to be so quick on the straights, so being overtaken might not be such a threat because we've got such good straight line speed. But through the corners, we're going to be squirming around like there's no tomorrow. So you can see there's a train that starts with Ocon, then Kvyat, then Verstappen, then Hamilton, then a Racing Point. So there's a huge train forming behind us as we get a huge kick of oversteer, but luckily no one gets past. We can see now Max Verstappen gets very close, and in fact he does hit us, sends us very close to the wall, and he does lunge it down the inside round that fast set of corners. He's got much superior downforce, one being in that Red Bull, and two because he's obviously running much higher downforce than I am. I'm using the lowest front wing setting, meaning there's absolutely no front end grip in these very wet conditions. As we can see, it's still Esteban Ocon and Danny Kvyat behind us, as Lewis Hamilton has been unable to get past either of them in these wet conditions. So we're still in 5th place, which is brilliant. As we can see, it is still raining quite hard, but there is that hope that the rain will clear up with just a few laps to go, because it is becoming very difficult to control the car going around these corners. As I'm saying, running 1.6 wings was a brilliant idea if the rain had stayed away from this race. It was a great idea to run 1.6 wings, but as you can see, the track is getting much drier now. Lap 22, 4 laps later, the rain has virtually disappeared. The track is getting much drier as we're heading through the castle section. I think it's time for soft tyres. Yep, Jeff telling me there's a new strategy available on the MFD, meaning it is time for some new soft tyres. We head into the pit lane now, ahead of both Esteban Ocon and Lewis Hamilton. Get very close to that wall on the left-hand side, but there is no bother because we keep all of the front wing. So we're going to strap on a fresh set of soft tyres as a couple continue on. Obviously they don't want to do the double stack within their team and risk losing time, but I fear the track is going to be far too dry for the likes of Lance Stroll and Charles Leclerc to make these intermediates last one more lap, as we are going to exit in a net P5 with just Stroll and Leclerc who continued on without stopping. So it's going to be very interesting to see how we do. Look, we get to the end, we cut to the end of the very same lap. We dive it up the inside of Charles Leclerc. We've basically made up about 6 seconds in a half a lap really, because he is just so slow on his worn inserts. The track is absolutely bone dry now. You can see the gap was 2 seconds. We headed to that last corner against Lance Stroll. We've gained, well, 7 tenths, 8 tenths almost, as we just fly down the straight. There is no grip left for those intermediate tyre runners, and Charles Leclerc and Lance Stroll may have just shot themselves in the foot as we now head to the end of lap 24. There's been a yellow flag behind us. It's Esteban Ocon going slowly. So the man that we were battling with throughout the whole of the wet period, he wasn't able to get past us. He is now out of the Grand Prix, which is very frustrating. He was on for a very good points haul for the Renault team, which they desperately needed. Probably not doing as well as they would have hoped in the R&D. They're slipping down the order in our R&D tree as well. They're not doing brilliantly in the constructors standings as we come across the line and set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, just showing how good of an idea it was to run such low downforce. We're leading our teammate by 30 seconds, which is brilliant. As we can see, nothing really happened for the last 2 laps. That doesn't really matter because we're going to come home. We've been able to hold off Lewis Hamilton, and we're going to come across the line and finish in 5th place in Azerbaijan. Our best result ever. Our second set of points. A huge haul of points. It's going to be 5th place for JNS Racing. And driver of the day again. We're becoming quite popular picking up with this award, I have to say.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to James. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from the owner-drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So here we are then. We've finished the race. We've beaten Danny Kvyat in that part of the rivalry. Obviously our acclaim has gone up a huge amount because of such a successful race. Another driver of the day performance and 10 points for the team. That is huge. As you saw on the standing screen, we have overtaken Haas and Alfa Romeo and Williams in the constructors standings, which is a brilliant result for us. I'm very, very pleased. But moving on, we're going to be going to Canada next. It's my favourite circuit on the Formula One calendar. It is really, really fun to drive. I'm very quick around there. So hopefully we do really well. It's my favourite track, as I've just said. But if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you want to see twice weekly Formula One content and you are enjoying the series. And I will catch you in Canada. Later, guys.